If you've seen any video on the channel, then you probably noticed that my audio and microphone quality is decent, I'd say. I have had lots of issues with volume control and noise reduction, but that has to do with my editing, and I think I've reached a good spot with the audio quality on videos for now. Anyway, for the past year on the channel, I've been using this as my microphone. This is the FIFINE AM8. This is a very popular budget microphone. It's a dynamic mic that has USB and XLR support, and it's been really reliable. I picked it up from the TikTok shop for a great discount, and honestly, I don't have any complaints about it. The build quality is pretty good, and the stand is pretty sturdy. The cable is really long, and I love the RGB lights to go with my keyboard and mouse. So I was very surprised when FIFINE reached out to me offering me this microphone to review, because I've already had it for a year and I've been using it all the time. So instead, they sent me their K688 dynamic mic and BM63 boom arm to review and share my thoughts with you all. I'll also be comparing the K688 to the AM8 to see their difference in quality and share which one I would recommend if you're in the market for the first time. Also, I do want to mention now I'm no audio professional, so this won't be a super in-depth review and I'll just be giving a general overview here. Huge thanks to FIFINE for sending me these items to review. Links to the items on Amazon and their official website are in the description, and I hope you all find this review informative and helpful. Of course, I was not paid to review these items, all opinions are my own, and no one is seeing this video before it's uploaded. Now without further ado, let's get into the unboxing and reviews. So first we'll be taking a look at the K688, and inside the box we get the user guide, which was actually very helpful, and the mic tightly packed in some foam. Taking the mic out of the box, I could immediately tell the difference in weight compared to the AM8. I'd say that's largely due to the metal build, which gives it a much more premium feel. It also has a tap to mute button, which is capacitive and not a physical clicky button, so you may accidentally press it and not even realize. I've done that one too many times with my AM8. The mic has a built-in shock mount. Near the bottom is where you'll find the screw to mount it to a standard boom arm. While we're here, on the bottom is the USB-C port to plug into your device, the XLR port, and the audio monitor and gain control knobs. If I'm being completely honest, I do sort of prefer the design of the AM8 on this one. I think having the control knobs on the back of the mic make it much easier to see and adjust, but this is still perfectly usable. Also in the box we have the USB-C cable, very similar to the AM8, but the K688's cable is noticeably longer. We also have a thread adapter. Screwing this into the hole on the shock mount gives the mic more compatibility with stands and boom arms. So to test it, I attached the K688 to the AM8 stand, and well, it works. The shorter overall height does make it look a bit weird, and honestly I will not be using the mic like this, but the option is there. To remove the adapter, using a coin should help do the trick. I hadn't realized that till I did a quick search on how to remove it because it is pretty tight. Anyway, that's about it for the unboxing of the K688, so let's move on to the BM63 boom arm. Alright, so this is a pretty long and heavy box, but I think that's a given since the mic arm is made of metal, and I struggled a bit to keep the whole thing in frame given my setup. Anyway, checking out the back of the box here with the feature list, it supports a weight capacity of up to 2 kilograms or about 4.4 pounds and provides more angle range for recording. I can definitely attest to that. It also claims to have wide compatibility with some microphones and is a compact, strong arm stand. And in the box we get the mic arm itself, a desk clamp, and the manual. Taking it out of the box, I have to say this thing feels pretty heavy and very sturdy. I also love the overall sleek design with no exposed springs. I had some trouble adjusting the angle at first because of it, but I find it does get a bit easier after adjusting it for the first time. So, taking a quick look at the desk clamp, I had to adjust it quite a bit to fit with my desk, since it is pretty tall on the front and back, so I had to place it in a specific spot that had a small enough space to secure the clamp properly, and it works fine. So here's the arm attached to the clamp. It's actually pretty easy, you just slide it into the gap on the clamp and secure it with the knob on the back of it. I couldn't really show that properly given the tight space on my desk and the fact that I put it near the back, but it is pretty easy to set up. Also, the arm is really easy to adjust left and right, along with the angle. So setting up the microphones with the boom arm is pretty simple. Just screw them into this metal rod on the front until they're secure. First, I tried the AM8, and honestly, it looks great. I'm still able to adjust the RGB no problem, and the angle here is a bit weird, but I have adjusted it to look much better after recording this footage. Next, here's the K688, and this one was definitely at a wonky angle here, but again, I've adjusted it properly after this, and this one honestly looks even better attached to the boom arm compared to the AM8. Overall, this being my first microphone arm, it is hard to compare to others on the market, but from my experience having had it for over a month as of the time of this review, I really like it. And I think it's a great option for the price at around $40 on Amazon. It also comes in white as well, along with some cable ties to help secure the microphone's USB cable to the arm. Alright, moving on to the audio quality for both microphones, I'll first start with the K688. So to set it up, I'll just go to OBS, plug in the mic to my PC with the USB-C cable, click Add Audio Input Capture. I'll just rename this to mic/aux. Then from the drop down you should see the microphone 2-FIFINE microphone, and it should be good to go. This same process applies to the AM8, so I won't go over it again for that one. So I'll be recording a short segment with both microphones, then doing a comparison between the two. I'll try my best to keep them at the exact same angle and distance. I won't have any other audio editing or processing besides adjusting the overall volume to make it consistent with the video. I usually adjust it by about 7 decibels for my videos. Alright, so here's the K688 testing with OBS with volume turned up and nothing else. Usually I add the noise suppression and noise gate to help block any potential background noise, and only let it pick up my voice by adjusting the open and close thresholds. Also, here's a quick test to see how much noise it can pick up. So I'm tapping my desk here a few times. And now I'll grab a controller. The one I have here is the BM63 Pro, which has micro switch buttons that have a mouse click, so they are louder than normal membrane buttons. And I'll be keeping it super close to the mic here. So let me know what you think about this one. Moving on to the AM8, testing with OBS with volume turned up and nothing else. Also, here's a quick test to see how much noise it can pick up. So I'm tapping my desk here a few times. And now I'll grab a controller. The one I have here is the BM63 Pro, which has micro switch buttons that have a mouse click, so they are louder than normal membrane buttons, and I'll be keeping it super close to the mic here. Let me know what you think about this one as well. So, going off the test between both mics, honestly they sound pretty similar in actual use, and the audio quality I think is really good for the most part. I try to keep my tone and script the same between both tests to make it easier to compare them, but I did notice the AM8 being a bit louder and picking up a bit more background noise. So personally I do prefer the K688. I find it picks up just a little less background noise, and that is one of my main priorities when it comes to recording for videos. When I do edit my audio, I usually turn on loudness normalization, adjust it by about 7 decibels, along with adding echo reduction to try to be as clear as possible. However, that does come with the issue of the mic not properly picking up everything I'm saying, but honestly I just have to project my voice better for the mic. Anyway, if I do have to recommend one of these, personally I'd go with the K688, and a lot of the time it's in a similar price range to the AM8 or on a discount. But if you want a more versatile mic or don't want to spend an extra $30 to $40 on a boom arm, then I'd recommend the AM8. The stand it comes with is decent enough for average use. I mean, I went through practically a whole year using it with just the stand, but personally it did make it harder to keep consistent volume throughout my videos, and even a slight adjustment would make my voice sound different, which is why I love having a boom arm now since I don't have to worry about that as much. It makes it so much easier to adjust. So that's about all I've got for this video. If you found it helpful and enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Also, I will be returning to consistent content very soon. I have lots of videos planned and lots of things to showcase to you all, so stay tuned. But until then, I will see you all soon.